raise your right hand. Do you swear to God or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Name and address for the record, please.
Dan Falkner, 29 Bennington Road. So my comments were way back in section 2. So I wanted to stick around and provide some context to the recommendations that I put in. So first off, I want to thank the board for making this an open and transparent process and allowing us to provide input. I know I learned a lot sitting here on the way the board works and the way the 10-year master plan and the thought that went into it. So I commend the board for that. So before I get to the recommendations, I'm fairly new to this town. We moved here about 3 years ago. I was in the military for 10 years, and oftentimes we don't get a choice of where we live at certain times. We get to request, but we get told where we go. So in that decade that I was moving around with my wife, we talked about a town that we'd want to settle down in and raise a family and be part of a community. And we were lucky enough to find Morris Township when we were looking for houses. And it's been a home run. So if we could have put this on paper when we were moving around, this is where we want to end up. So around the context of the comments that I put in around energy efficiency and renewable energy, I wanted to provide a little bit of context around that. So those comments, what I made about those is it's around putting some action plans or a stated goal maybe to move the township both on maybe on a residential level, a municipal use, and an aggregate use perhaps, to be powered by renewable energy sources. And I know that means a lot of different things, and I'm not here to talk about the how. There's a variety of different ways of the how, but I'm here to talk about the why. So the why, the 10,000-foot view, in my opinion, it's climate change. And the reason why I say that, it's not a partisan issue for me. I'm an unaffiliated independent voter. So I come with no political baggage, but what I come with is some personal experience from my time in the military. I was a helicopter pilot. So I spent a couple of deployments overseas, and a lot of that time was done doing humanitarian assistance or disaster relief. And I've seen some climate-related disasters on a scale of which it's hard to conceive sitting in this room to understand the impacts and what that can do to this planet. I know we got a taste of it here during Hurricane Sandy, and some people were really affected, but I can say that's been on the scale. It is very, very small. We got away very, very lucky compared to what I've seen globally. So, again, no hidden agenda there, but when the Department of Defense comes out and says that climate change is one of the top threats to national security, it doesn't get any less partisan than that. So that's the 10,000-foot view. Drilling down here to the 10-year plan and why we're here. And some comments were made before. I know, Linda, you talked about understanding the target market and the next generation of homeowners, and that's kind of the role that I do now. I work for Verizon developing products, is you try to understand that next generation. Where's that target market coming from? Who are those next generation of homeowners? We talked about the aging population in the town, and as people move into these smaller apartments or downsize, we need people to move into those homes, right? And these types of things is I believe is what the next generation cares about. I spent a lot of time with 18 to 24-year-old crewmen in the back of my aircraft. I was an investment banker. I spent nights and weekends with young analysts, and talking and understanding those, and now I work at Verizon working with product developers. So these companies that I work for, large Fortune 100 companies, have publicly stated goals on sustainability, renewable energies, reducing carbon footprints. And why do they do that? Why does it make sense? Well, they wouldn't do it if it didn't save them money, first and foremost. But second, these companies are all in a war for talent, right? If I'm a banker, I can work on a spreadsheet and a laptop for anybody. Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, what's the difference? Well, the difference is that when people are sitting there working on their spreadsheets, they want to know that something's going on with the organization they're in that makes them proud to work there. And these are the types of things that are read out at quarterly webcasts and results, and that's what people really, really value. So the last thing, and I'll close this off, is that I'm a very competitive person. You don't have to sit next to me during the Army-Navy game to know how competitive I can get in certain points. Well, now I'm a member of this town, and this is my town. And when we're here competing for the next generation of homeowners, I want people to go right past Maplewood and bypass Morristown and come here to Morris Township. Selfishly, I want my property value to stay high, but also I want us to be able to choose the best homeowners and people to take this community and how great it is, and you all have in the public service that you've done in making this town as great as it is, to continue that into the next 10-year plan and the 10-year plan after that and the 10-year plan after that. So that's just the context around my comments. You know, maybe they fit in a couple different places in the 10-year plan, and I know I'm coming in at the 11th hour, but I just wanted to take the opportunity and advantage of what you provided and the ability to provide some public commentary. So, thank you.
Thank you.